Hey, and welcome to another episode of the YouTube channel. I've been a bit AWOL. So typically I try to put a video out at least once a week, and to tell you the truth, I've just been absolutely non-stop cleaning, which obviously is the idea of it. Apologies obviously if you were looking for a video, but yeah, obviously the job and the business comes first, right? So currently sat in my office. Today is Wednesday the 16th of March, and in the UK it's absolutely hammering it down with rain. And so this morning I did a local Zzz's restaurant in Aylesbury, so I cleaned that inside and out. The outside was an absolute nightmare because it hadn't been cleaned for about 3 years. They were just the previous company were just doing the lower section, and obviously it was like full glass, and obviously the managers of the restaurant wanted it clean, so I did that, and then did a residential and got absolutely soaked, and decided to call it a day. So on this video it's more of a kind of like a quick recap slash update, just to let you know what's happening, what's working in the business, where it's going, and and one of the subjects, I've got my diary here. So one of the subjects that I've written down is collaborations and opportunities. Now, I'm a firm believer that by talking to people, befriending people, in the same industry or industries where there is a crossover of customers, it can play vital to your business, and it can help you grow your business a lot quicker if you've built up those relationships with people. As an example, if you've got a local carpet cleaner or upholstery cleaner, well, if they're going into people's houses and they're talking about, or cleaning their furniture and the carpets, the likelihood is, if they're the type of people to be paying for those services, then they probably want their windows done if they're not already being done. They may want their fascias, their soffits, they may need the gutters clearing or checking, patios, driveways cleaning, all of those things. If they're the type of customer that is prepared to take pride in their property and spend that money to be able to have their the things clean, the likelihood is they probably want a multitude of those cleaning services along the way. And if you've built up a really good relationship and friendship with someone that has a crossover service like carpet cleaning, oven cleaning, even gardening, local handymen, there's always a good opportunity for them to refer work to you, because what I've found is a lot of people, when they find someone that they like, they know, and they trust, they're happy to take that person's recommendation for someone else for another service. So and this happened to me recently. So there's a guy called Rob from Arbery Windows, and he's based in Oxford. Long story short, we've been talking back and forth probably since October, November time last year, just on Instagram, just about different bits and pieces. Rob started up, and we've been having conversations about his equipment, the van, how it's working, what he's going to do, and so on and so on. Now, I didn't go into having those conversations with people to get something from them. I went into it on the basis that if I could just share the knowledge that I have, and the thing is, you don't need to be a guru to be able to have a conversation with someone about something. You just need to know one thing or two things more than they do to be able to help them and add value to them and their business. And that's essentially what I did. Was I wanted to be able to share the stuff that I've been learning with other people, and that's part of the reason why I created the YouTube channel in the first place. But anyway, so Rob and I have been having conversations, but going back and forth and kind of motivating each other along the way. Well, Rob picked up an opportunity where for a hotel in Oxford, and they wanted all of the windows done on the outside, which he was completely happy to do, but they wanted the windows of the hotel done on the inside as well. Now, I wouldn't know how to classify the size of the hotel, but it had like 16 rooms, so it's not small, but it's not massive. It's a good job, and obviously Rob's just started up, and his main core focus for the business is water-fed pole. So he's not done any traditional work. It's something he does want to look into, but it's not something that he's invested the time, effort, and energy into doing right away. And Rob reached out to me and said, look, is this something of interest to you? This is the location. Would you travel there? It could be a good opportunity for you. So I jumped at the opportunity. We went together, we met the owner, we agreed the price, and now Rob's going to be doing it every 6 weeks, and with the owner we've agreed that I'll come back and do the internal window cleaning every 12 weeks, and we've agreed a price. So from having those conversations with someone, not only has obviously I've built up a rapport with Rob and we've built up a mutual trust and relationship, that's enabled him to feel confident enough and to reach out to me to say, look, I've got this job, and it's not something I want to do, but do you want to do it? And we've both benefited along the way, and that's something that I think is vital, because I see it a lot of the time, in a lot of industries where there's obviously people that are doing the same jobs or same industry, and they kind of have an issue with each other. There's always get off my patch. It's my they're my customers and all this stuff. And yes, okay, in this particular situation, I'm not local to it. It took me about 45 minutes to get there, so the likelihood is I'm not going to travel to that area to try and canvass and pick up work. But obviously, because I've built up enough trust with Rob is happy for us to be able to share this job and this opportunity together. Knowing full well that I'm not going to try and steal like the outside cleaning off of him and take that away from him. We've built up that trust to be able to do that. So definitely collaborating with other people, talking to as many people in the local area as you can, most definitely will help you grow your business a lot quicker. Because the thing is, it's not about who they are, it's about who they know and who could use your service, right? And so just another example of this is there's a guy that's local to me. We used to work together probably about 6 years ago, roughly, I would say, and he's decided he wants to have a career change, and he lives in the same town as me, and he's recently had a baby, and so he wants to change his work-life balance. So he's working his job, but he wants to also set up a window cleaning business. So last week I went out with him for a day and we kind of worked together. He helped me with my jobs, I helped him with his jobs, but it was just a good opportunity for us to work together, have those conversations, and talk about things, because when it can be a very lonely road, especially when you're starting out as a window cleaner. 99% of the time there's not enough work to pay you, your bills, your expenses, let alone the cost of employing someone. So it's nice to be able to have those conversations, and if someone's struggling with that, with anything in their business, and they just want some advice or they just want to vent to someone, then feel free to reach out to me, because I'm more than happy to have a conversation with someone about it. And like I said, it's not that I'm sitting here saying, look, I'm a guru, I know everything, because 100% I genuinely don't. But as long as I know more than the person coming to me about that particular situation, I feel like I'm confident enough to be able to have that conversation with someone, in the hope that it can help them. And there's nothing, I'm not expecting anything in return. It's genuinely to help people. So the biggest opportunities going forward 100% is collaborations and opportunities, because I think by collaborating, that will present you with more opportunities, which in turn will generate you more business and help build your credibility in the local area. One of the other jobs that I've had, a guy is local to me, and his core business is window cleaning, and doesn't want to do any other exterior cleaning, just focusing on window cleaning. And he's passed me a gutter clearing job. And again, there's that mutual respect that he knows that I'm not going to try and steal the customer for the windows, because he's asked me to go and do the gutters for them. So it's, and that's the thing, it's back and forth. You constantly help each other out along the way. But it all starts with building up that relationship and taking the time to invest in finding out who that person is, who they are, what they do, how they do it, and how you can help them. And in return, they'll help you back. And I'm a firm believer that you have to give to receive, and every transaction is a two-way street. Yeah, and that's the same as when you're dealing with your customers. You're providing them with a high level of service in exchange for a monetary value. So yeah, it's definitely something that I want to continue focusing on 2022. I've met a couple of other window cleaners in the local area. I've had a chat with them, given them a business card, because if there's an opportunity where perhaps they're on holiday and they need someone to cover their round, maybe they'll come towards me. Equally, if they've got something that a few customers that are a bit out of the way and they've grown their business and it's not commercially viable for them to look after them anymore, they may either pass them on or give me the opportunity first to buy them. And at the end of the day, when someone thinks about selling their business or some customers in the local area, I want to be the go-to guy that they go, Phil, I've got this number of customers, this is the round, are you interested in buying it? Because I want to grow the business in 2022, and I do have ambitious plans, and I don't want to be like a sole trader window cleaner. I want to create something bigger than that and be able to employ people and help people and give back to the local community. So I'm doing loads of stuff in the background, reaching out to other cleaners and other industry businesses to be able to try and build that network and connections. So some of the stuff that we've been doing in the background, work-wise, so not this week, but the week before, on the Monday, I did my first pressure washing job. So I set my pressure washer up. I know obviously I said I was going to do a video of the pressure washer, but I haven't done yet. And equally, I didn't do any filming of that particular job. Firstly, because it was the first job I was doing, and I was more concerned with, rather than trying to film it and document it, I wanted to be able to give 100% of my focus to doing the job in the best way possible and also the most efficient way. I've got to go back to resand the drive on Friday, but it was just over 100 square metre block paved drive. Drainage was really bad in certain areas of it, so I actually had to go back the next day, re-clean, bring the gutter back and hoover up the water and the mud and stuff that was coming out, because otherwise it was just sitting and not clean. And then they had I think it was an Indian sandstone patio that was about 40 square meters, and yeah, I've got turbo nozzle and I've got 20-inch surface cleaner. Now the surface cleaner on the drive it wasn't touching it, because the in between the blocks, the mud and the moss was so thick it just couldn't do anything. So in the end I had to turbo nozzle the whole 100 square meter drive, and it got to like 5:30 on the Monday, and I started packing up, and that's the reason why I had to go back on the Tuesday, was because it was just too dark and I couldn't continue to finish the job. So I went back for another 2 hours on the Tuesday, just to basically spot check, make sure there was no weeds and I hadn't missed anything, because obviously it was getting dark. But yeah, it was a real big backbreaker. But by adding that in to the business on top of the work that I already had booked in for regular window cleans, plus the one-off jobs and so on, meant that it was our first really, really good week. And when I say really, really good, everyone has a different interpretation, and I'm not saying, okay, we're doing £500 a day, because that's the stereotypical 500 quid a day club on Facebook, because we're not. But from a financial business perspective, it was like a really good week financially for us compared to previous weeks, and I think by doing that, adding that additional service has just increased the cash flow of the business, which makes me feel happy and confident in my abilities and obviously what we're doing, and it says that we're doing the right things and we're moving forward in the right manner. And I've booked another drive in April, and I've not really done much marketing for pressure washing. I put a couple of posts out in the local Facebook groups, but I've ordered some leaflets. So Spinner Clean had a deal on where I think it was like 5,000 leaflets for pressure washing for £99, like double-sided leaflets. And so what it is on the leaflet, you go out and obviously you have a look at the customer's drive, and then you just write a rough estimate on there, and then obviously post it through the letterbox. So if it's something they're interested in, that they can come back to you. So it's not canvassing as such, because obviously you're not actually knocking on the door, but it's like a personalized estimate. And when I'm out and about, I try to post like 5 to 10 leaflets or knock on 5 to 10 doors, depending on the time that I've got when I'm out window cleaning. So if I clean number 10, then I'll just do 3 houses either side and a couple opposite that see it, just because again it's just that repetition. Even if they don't contact me or engage with me straight away, if then in 6 weeks time they see the van back, and then they see the leaflet again, they go, it's just that validation that I'm there every 6 weeks, so it must be a good thing, right? Loads of window cleans, did a couple of gutter jobs yesterday as well, in the afternoon, which was really, really good. From a business perspective, with regards to regular customers, I think we're about 60-ish. The reason why I don't know, and it sounds very vague, is because ever since I switched over to Squeegee, I'm trying to still understand the system, whereas previously on the spreadsheet I could just look at it and go, right, yeah, I've got 25 or whatever. Whereas now, every time I add a customer just to do a quote, obviously that then shows in the total number of customers, and that's not actually active, regular repeating work. I know you can go into the job section or rounds and whatever, but I don't know. But it's about 60-ish. So again, that's growing. The target that I want to be at by the end of October is about 150. So I said obviously I've got ambitious plans. I don't want to try and do it overnight and rush the process. I prefer to take my time. I don't want to have loads of customers and not being able to look after them. I'd prefer to charge a slightly higher price and do a really good job and be able to look after and manage the round and grow it at a steady pace. I've had a few good inquiries as well, off the back of people seeing the van. So people have called me and said, I saw your van out today, and where I was doing jobs, people have come up and said, oh, can I have a business card? So 100%, again, just to reiterate the whole conversation on the previous video about investing in the van, so far it's well worth it. And like I said, from a brand perspective, it's definitely getting seen, which was the idea of it, right? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and also go back and watch the previous videos. If you've got any questions or comments, don't forget to drop them in the box below, and I'll catch you on the next one.